Hello everyone and welcome to my first Halloween video. Last weekend, I had the opportunity to visit Scarowinds and experience 4 out of the 5 mazes for the first time. I didn't end up doing Tooth Fairy due to the line being absolutely ridiculous, and I didn't do the Conjuring maze either, even though I heard it was pretty great, only due to the fact that it was an extra upcharge on top of the already $10 upcharge that I had to pay to access the mazes in the first place. Anyway, let's get into this. We're going to go from worst to best, so let's waste no more time and dive straight in. Coming in at number 4 is DefeX 2.0. Okay, as a quick disclaimer, I never did the original DefeX, so I don't know how to compare this to the original, but holy cow, this thing was probably the most disappointing experience of the entire night. Let's start off by mentioning how this was probably the maze that I was looking most forward to, closely followed by Slaughterhouse. While I was on Thunderstriker earlier in the day, I saw the clown face entrance, and it honestly intrigued me. Fast forward to when night fell. I got in line near Woodstock Whirlybirds. Here's the problem. For some reason, they don't want guests standing under Thunderstriker's drop when the train goes by because I guess they're afraid something might fly off and hit someone, which is understandable, especially in a post-dragster world. But now there's basically a line to get into another line. I waited about 15-ish minutes in the line before going under Thunderstriker, and then I waited about, I'd say 20 minutes in the line after going under Thunderstriker. So in total, I guess I waited about 35 minutes for something that could have taken 20. If they had just built some kind of cover above the path, it would have been much shorter. Now getting to the actual maze, this thing is just so weak to me. I don't know. Starting off, we get into the first pre-show room. We meet a character who greets us and welcomes us to Mr. Pinky's factory. We then go into another pre-show room where everyone is instructed to scream, "Mr. Pinky!" to quote-unquote summon him. And at this point I was wondering something. Could Mr. Pinky be a creepy clown? A crazy monkey? A disturbing doll? No. Mr. Pinky is just a bunny costume that I could get at my local Spirit Halloween. Seriously, Scarowinds? Is this the best we've got? Come on now. Do better. After that, the actor makes sure to scream, "Run!" in everyone's face, and we do just that. I don't really remember the rest of the maze, because while I was at least trying to enjoy it, everyone ran past me and kept screaming. What I do remember was the fact that it was really short after the 2 pre-shows, and that I had to wait another 5 minutes after exiting the maze to get back to Camp Snoopy because of Thunderstriker. Overall, this maze was mediocre at best, but the other 3 are pretty good, so let's move on. Coming in at number 3 is Silver Scream Studios' Director's Cut, which has about as long of a name as Haggard's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. This was my first maze I did, and from what I heard from the previous years, I was not expecting this maze to be that great. But to my surprise, it was pretty good. Sure, it's not the best maze in the park, but it sure is better than DefeX 2.0. The maze started out in a movie theater setting, and then moved on to different sets clearly inspired from famous movies. For example, there was a campy setting with clear inspiration from Camp Crystal Lake, called Camp Killallie, which I do believe was a former scare zone at one point, as well as a sci-fi setting, with likely inspiration from Alien. My favorite part of the maze was probably this weird circular tunnel thing with a bridge through the center of it that spun and stuff. In terms of scare actors, there were a decent amount of them in there, but a lot of it felt weirdly empty, especially in the sci-fi area. I feel like it could use a bit more scare actors, but overall it was fine. Now let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is Paranormal Inc. Now I actually did a walkthrough of this maze in 2023 during CoasterCon, so I already knew what the maze looked like with the lights on. But I was pretty impressed with what it felt like with them off and with scare actors. The only thing I didn't really like about this maze was the fact that they had us just walk straight on through the pre-show room without doing the actual pre-show. I'm assuming this was just to increase capacity, but it was a bit disappointing. I had probably one of the best scares of the night during the outside portion. I don't know if it was an actor or an animatronic, It seemed like an animatronic. It was this big piece of wall that like lurched out right in front of me. They let out probably the loudest scream I've ever had in my entire life. Overall, this maze was awesome, but we still have one more. Coming in at number 1 is Slaughterhouse. Alright, before you all grill me, get it? Before you all grill me in the comments saying, Paranormal Inc. is the best one, how dare you rank this one above it? Here's the thing. While Paranormal Inc. might objectively be the better maze, I personally like this one more simply because I'm a massive fan of gory stuff in horror movies. For example, Terrifier and Final Destination are my two favorite horror franchises. Slaughterhouse is chock full of that, and I just couldn't get enough of it. The maze itself was super long, mutilated props and scare actors galore, and it has a really good scare at the end that got me probably significantly more than it should have. I would have absolutely done it more than once, but by the time I got out, it was getting close to closing time, and I really wanted one more ride on Fury using a single-use fast lane I happen to have. Overall, this maze was fantastic, and I cannot wait to experience it again one day. And with that, those were my thoughts on all of the mazes at Scarowinds, excluding Tooth Fairy. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more Carowinds videos in the future. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on my ranking of the mazes at Scarowinds, if you agree or disagree, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.